Hello, my name is Jason, and today I'm going to walk you through the process of actually 3D printing ArUco markers. So ArUco markers are commonly used for vision systems, and I've found this generator just by searching up ArUco marker on Google. It's the first option. We have a couple options here in terms of the generator itself. We have different dictionaries that we can use. We have different marker IDs that we can go through, and we have the marker size. Today, I'm going to be working with marker 1, and I'm going to be working with a 40 millimeter marker size. The process that we're going to go through should be the same regardless of what settings you choose here. Once I'm happy, I'm going to go ahead and save this marker as an SVG. I'm just going to save it to my download folder. I'm going to open this in a program called Inkscape. All right, so now I have the file opened up in Inkscape, and there are a couple of things that we need to do. The first is we need to take the white pattern, which is currently a bunch of discrete squares and rectangles, and combine that into a single object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my layers and objects, which you can find by using this drop down. I'm going to select all the rectangles except the last one. This one is the black rectangle, and this is the background. So I'm going to hold shift, press rectangle 2, rectangle 12 while still holding shift. It selects all of them. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to path, union. This turns them all into one object, but as you can see, we can't see it anymore. That's because the color got messed up. So we're going to add the color back. We're going to make it white. Now it's one object, and we have the black background as a separate object. Next thing that I'm going to do is I want a 5 millimeter margin on all sides of the ArUco markers. I'm going to go over here to the width. I'm going to increase it by 10. I'm going to go 50, 50, and I can zoom out. I can see that I have a margin, but it's no longer centered. So what I need to do now is highlight the whole section, go to align and distribute, make sure that move and align selection as group is enabled. Relative to the page, we're going to align vertical and center. Now it's centered. Last thing we need to do is actually draw the rectangle. So I'm going to go to my rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw it across the entire thing. Right now it's in front. I'm just going to move it behind everything, and then I'm going to change the color also to white. I'm going to rename these. So I'm going to double click. This is the pattern. This is the inline. And this is the outline. Now that we have the parts labeled, one thing that's going to be a problem is that the two background squares are just squares. They don't have the patterns removed from them. So we need to do the following process twice. What we're going to do is I'm going to first take the inline and I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to take that object, hold shift, and select the outline. Then we're going to go to path, and we're going to do difference. Now, this has been turned into a proper frame. We're going to do the same thing with the pattern. Pattern, duplicate, hold shift, press the inline, path, difference. You can see now it has the pattern. Now that this process is done, we're going to go ahead and go to the export tab. We're going to make sure we're on batch export, highlight everything, and we're going to turn on export selected only, so that way we're not getting duplicates of the pattern. We're going to make sure that the format is in plain SVG, and we're going to make sure that our directory is where we want it to be. We're going to go into export, and we can see it confirmed here at the bottom. Now that we've exported the files, I'm here in the process slicer. I'm going to load them in. I'm going to select here. We have inline, outline, pattern, and the original. We're just going to select the first three, not the original. We're going to go ahead and open that. It's going to tell us, hey, is this part of a single object? And we're going to say, yes, it is. Here's our part. We can see that we have everything we need, except it looks like the interior pattern has been slightly offset. So we're going to have to fix that. So we're going to click on the pattern. We're going to go down to part manipulation. We're going to change this to object coordinates. I'm going to go to the Y, and I'm going to move it by negative 3.33 millimeters. Now, the way that I got this measurement is using the following formula. It is the size of the ArUco marker divided by its dimension, so in this case 4, and then divided by the number of pixels across the part that is misaligned. So you have 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be divided by 3. So then we get 3.33. If your pattern is one of these guys or one of these guys, which has a full 4x4 span, you're not going to have this issue. So for those, you don't need to worry about it. Finally, the thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're using a printer that is capable of multi-material printing. So for me, I'm using the Prusa XL5 terminal input shaper, and I'm going to select my filaments. So both of them are going to be PLA, and I'm going to change the color. This one's going to be black, and this one's going to be white. You see everything looks good except the middle one. We're going to change the middle one to white. Boom, there we are. Last thing we're going to do is that we're going to adjust the thickness because this is currently very thick. I'm going to click on the part. I'm going to disable the lock here, and I'm going to change the size of the Z, so that's 1 millimeter. Boom. And there we are. Go ahead and slice, and we can see that the printer has successfully broken the part down with proper tool changes, and you can repeat this process for all the different ArUco markers that you want. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you and have a wonderful day.